This is the story of the time that I worked at a bridal shop for 6 hours and then left and never looked back. So last summer, I decided that I wanted a summer job before I started teaching. And so I kind of racked my brain thinking about what I wanted to do. And I was like, you know what? I would be a great bridal assistant. So I looked at bridal shops in my area at the time and I found one and I sent them a little email with my resume just saying, hey, I would love to work here. I didn't hear anything back within the day. So the next day I printed off my resume and I went into the bridal shop. I talked to the owner and I was like, hi, my name is Jillian. I'd love to work here. Here's my resume. And she was like, okay, yeah, it sounds great. Why don't you come in tomorrow and we'll do a little practice shift, see how we get along. I was like, okay, yeah, sounds great. And so I left. The next day I came in and the first thing she did was she showed me around and then we went over to her computer because she's like, we're gonna go ahead and send a few messages to the clients that are coming in today. We have 4 clients today and we're just gonna let them know how excited we are that they're coming in. And I am all for a heartfelt note. So we open up her computer, she's typing, she opens up ChatGPT and asks it to write a message to Ashley, letting her know that we're so excited that she's coming in. I thought that was kind of interesting because it wouldn't take more than 30 seconds to just message Ashley or whoever it was and just let them know how excited we were, but I digress. Whatever, if that was her thing, that was her thing. Before the first client comes in, the owner tells me, hey, for this first client, you're just kind of gonna watch what I do. On top of that, you're gonna be holding things for me and just helping me out, being my assistant. I said, okay, I got this, no problem. Client comes in, no problem. We get her in a few dresses, she ends up leaving. Everything was fine. Now, before the next client gets there, the owner shows me how the dresses are organized and they're organized by style. So I'm like, okay, that's simple enough. Ball gown here, mermaid here, A-line here, things like that. But she's like, you seem to be getting the gist pretty well. Why don't you help our next client who comes in? The appointment is at this time. This is the person. And I'm like, I got this because again, customer service, talking to people, my thing. This bride comes in, she's around my age and the owner's like, go ahead. And so I start talking to her and we click like that. Like I'm asking her how she got proposed to, what does the ring look like? We get down to what she wants in a dress. And I was like, what do you want? She wants fitted up top, some sort of simple dress, no ball gown, something A-line. I want a sleeve. I want a long sleeve or a cap sleeve. I'm not really sure just yet, but I want sleeves. And the owner, before I can say anything, the owner goes, I don't know why all these girls are wanting to cover up their arms. I just don't get it. I don't get the whole sleeve thing. And walks away. Now I'm sitting there baffled. The bride looks uncomfortable and I'm just like, how do I fix this situation? So I look at the bride and I said, honestly, I had sleeves for my wedding dress. I got married in April. This was my dress. I can find you something with sleeves. I love that look. And that made the situation a little less awkward and we just went on. The owner and I, we pull a dress for her. I put her in the dress. She comes out and it is gorgeous on her, but it was a little bit too much bling for what she was wanting. And so we put her in a different dress. But when she walked out in the second dress, she was holding her hands like this. And I could tell that the neckline was too low because she looked a little bit uncomfortable. I asked her, I was like, hey, what are you feeling? And she's like, the neckline is way too low. Is there any way that we could possibly alter it? Now, this dress was gorgeous, but it was slightly off the shoulder. It had a big sort of over the shoulder sleeve. And the neckline was very pretty. It was very low, but then it had lace kind of peeking out. And I said, I'm not sure if you'll be able to alter this because if you like the lace, and she's like, I do, then I feel like it might change the look of the dress. She was like, okay. But keep in mind, like I've been here 3 hours. I may not know what I'm talking about. The owner comes over and she's like, how's everything going? And I said, she's wondering if we could alter the dress in terms of making the neckline a little bit higher. And the client, this bride, goes, would that change the look of the dress? And she goes, well, yeah, you're altering it. The way she said it, I was just like, oh my gosh, okay. Anyway, the owner ends up walking away. I was like, do you want to take a picture in the dress? And she's like, no, not this one, but the first one we tried on. I love the one with the sleeves. And I tried that back on and take some pictures in that. And I said, absolutely. So after that, her and her family that came with her said thank you and they ended up leaving. After that happened, a third bride came in and the owner didn't say anything out of pocket to her. But keep in mind, I've been here about 4 hours at this point. And I'm still learning about where the dresses go because even though they're organized by style, there's no pricing on them at all. And some of them are trunk show pieces that are only staying in the shop for a little bit. And so I had put 2 dresses in the wrong spot and the owner was so condescending when talking to me that I was like, this is not gonna work. After the last client left, we end up cleaning up and she's like, oh my goodness, that was so great. Like, thank you so much for coming in. I will let you know in a few days if I have an offer for you. And I was like, great, thank you so much. I end up leaving. I don't want to have any confrontation with this woman, but I end up leaving. A few days later, I messaged her and I was like, thank you so much for the opportunity, but I am not interested in working there, but thank you so much. And she's like, is it anything I did? And I was like, no. Again, I just didn't want that confrontation. So I just didn't say anything. But I just kept going over the things that she had said to these brides and the condescending tone that she had with me. I was like, that's just not the right spot for me. And actually, after I left, I did look up the reviews of this shop, and it turns out that other people felt the exact same way. So anyway, that was it. I worked there for like 6 hours for a trial run. I didn't actually get paid. I was just pretty much volunteering, and I would never do it again. So at least at that shop, maybe a different one. But anyway, that's all.